Alrighty, hey guys, we are live. Someone can give me a comment on YouTube. That way, I'll know you guys are hearing me. Um, the Browns are winning. That is wonderful news. Get my ring light out of the way since I'm not actually using it. All right, now we're set. So, hey, here today to talk about a few things. I want to talk about the 12 Days of Tribute, which, hey, Paula's picks. She's in there. All right. Thanks, Paula. Always good to see you. Um, so here today, mainly to talk about the 12 Days of Tribute. I've invited some people from. Hey, Robert Sievert's here. All right,
Hey,
what's
cool.
going on, Robert?
The video. This is great.
Yeah, man, you're live. How's it going? I
I'm
don't
li-
think we've ever chatted
Considering
before.
the alternative, that's a good thing.
Yeah, man.
And I apologize for my big head. It's just there's only one place that I could put the camera.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, I also have a big head, so it's a blessing and a curse. You
yeah,
fit more brains up in there.
that's true. In fact, where's my brain? I got it here somewhere.
You've got an extra.
Yeah. No, it's not extra. It's looks like you have external hard drives. So I got my
More storage. I like
more
it.
storage. Yeah, and
It's a little smaller. Is that like a one terabyte maybe?
yeah, but it's compressed. So
Okay,
it's like
gotcha.
you can really compress it. So
So how's
cool.
everything going, man?
Good. Well, I'm still kind of recovering. There it is. I still have a kind of a wrist thing from a losing battle with a bottle.
Oh, yeah. Don't fight with bottles.
Well, it was it's just a bottle of cherry juice trying to was trying to get the top off.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. Too much information. Not very
Paul's
interesting.
me the perfect radio voice. I don't know what is she talking about, me or you? Do you think?
Probably me, or maybe I mean, I did radio for a number of years. Well, not that many years, but enough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
You're
did. I
pretty
did.
much the most interesting man in the world. Like, tell me
I'm the
about doing
most
radio.
interesting man in the world. Um, I did college radio, and then I did for about 2 years did professional radio. And one of the things about radio, well, and particularly where I was in when I was doing radio, we did our own engineering, so we had the control board in front of us and all that crap. Um, and when you do that, when you're controlling your own microphone and all that, you're wearing headphones all the time.
Yeah.
So you hear your voice, you get your voice back at you in your head all the time you're on the air. So that has the effect of giving you immediate feedback of uh, how your voice is.
Mhm.
So
Do you get self-conscious about how your voice sounds?
oh, never, of course not.
Yeah. Brimming with confidence, me. Yeah.
Uh, so Wisconsin, yeah, went to school up there. My folks are from there.
Oh, nice.
We're from there.
Yeah, I've got the Browns game on over here. I mean, it's not on; it's just the regional coverage. I don't pay for NFL Network, so
Oh yeah.
follow it on the interwebs. So they're winning.
So, yeah.
I probably just jinxed it though.
Right.
Anytime I say anything positive about the Browns or Buckeyes, they go straight in the tank. So
Yeah, I
should just probably keep my mouth shut. The Browns are competitive. Let's put it that way.
competitive. That's it's good to be competitive.
That's true. Well, I've spent many years watching Browns teams that were anything but competitive. So the fact that they're even mildly entertaining at this point is a win for us.
Well, I mostly follow sports from a distance these days. Don't watch that often.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I've lost a fair bit of interest, but
Yeah.
various reasons for that. So
I mean,
your content has been top notch lately, man.
thank you,
How
thank
you
you.
feeling about it?
I feel really good about it. I got to say, it's been and actually coming out of I just spent a good 40 minutes watching your interview with Megan. So yeah, exactly, and
And it was a good 40 minutes.
it was a great 40 minutes. And the cool thing, and the one of the cool things about it is what you were when you were commenting about the number of views you had
Mhm.
when you were starting out was kind of exactly the same
Yeah.
that that I experienced. It's like a couple hundred. Oh wow, that's great.
Yeah.
And the one there was one that really it almost turned a corner and just knocked me on my socks, out of my socks actually. I'd gotten this email from LinkedIn, because they send email every once in a while. It's like, oh, you haven't posted lately. You haven't done this. We miss you. All that kind of stuff.
We really care about you.
Yeah, we really care. Don't you? It's like your name here. We really care. It said, oh, you could post, you can do X, Y, and Z. It was like you can tag people, you can do this and that. And so I wrote this post where I said I got an email from LinkedIn, inviting me to create a post. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it gave me they said you can do this. Okay, I can do this. So you can tag people. Okay, I'll tag people. So tag people. And I put a picture of there from my distant past, sitting in an office from my Caldor days, where I'm sitting in front of a computer and, looking youthful and happy.
Yeah.
That post got 10,000 views. When the most I'd ever had was like 1,400, and that was the second highest. Everything else was like in the hundreds, and I got 10,000 views. Oh my God, I can do this. So
it blows you away sometimes, like the weird stuff that is on. Like there was one a couple of weeks ago where I took a picture of, I was working on an Alteryx project just in my pajamas at the dining table. My wife was in the bedroom working on homework because she was finishing her semester. She's trying to finish her bachelor's degree. And so I was like, hey, it's a Saturday morning. Kids are kind of out doing whatever. Wife's doing homework. Let me work on a couple of these projects. So I just took a picture of the monitors and the laptop on the dining room table and just said, hey, just kind of get on my grind on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And got, I don't even remember what it was. It was like 30-some thousand views.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, this was, I don't like to call them throwaway posts because, obviously that's intriguing to a lot of people. And, that resonates in some way. But, sometimes it's those posts where you're like, I can't think of what to put up. Let me pick up the dog the other day. And, and
roll some dice.
It's like 50,000 views. You're like, really? Jeez.
Yeah.
And the one like on middle of the week that you slaved over and you're like, this is my magnum opus, and you put it out there, it's like 803.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's like thinking the Browns are going to do really well. It's like you think this is my magnum opus. Yeah. You just jinxed yourself. It's like,
it's like
I'm throwing a perfect game.
Jaguars are going to win by 50, and they, it's
like you're toast, dude.
Yeah.
It's over. Don't even think about it.
Yeah.
So I said, let's see. I've been going to keep going in it because I can't really change where the camera is. It's because I have this.
Don't worry about it, dude.
The way my space.
Honestly, you're probably the only person that's even noticing it.
Yeah. Well, I notice it. I notice that if I want to lean over and look at the comments, because then my head, I should get a like a plastic face so I don't go out.
Yeah, exactly. Or some sort of background that just completely blots everything out.
Yeah.
I was going to say that unlike you, LinkedIn has never told me, hey, you haven't posted in a while. I don't know how long you have to go without posting to get one of those, but I have not done it yet. So,
when
they might send me an email being like, hey, maybe you should just cool it a little, back off, take a break once in a while.
At the beginning of the year, there was some advice I remember reading said, don't post more than once a week. You'll overexpose yourself. So, okay, that's what you say.
There's people out there that will just spew the dumbest crap. Like ideally to make the most out of every post, it's once a day. And I think I'm posting the link here because I think Etoro wants to join, but she's not finding it. So, but like any kind of competent LinkedIn guru is going to tell you once a day is the secret sauce. If you post one time every calendar day, and that's why I'd say kind of keep it to a consistent time.
Well, that's why Hootsuite is so convenient because, I mean, I can get up that early, but I don't have my act together, So
Yeah.
it's nice to have, Hootsuite. The of course that one drawback is you can't really tag people.
Yeah.
In Hootsuite, so.
Yeah, that is tough, but I mean, sometimes that's more of a blessing because tagging people can be a tricky game, and a lot of times, like you'll tag a couple of people that you think are going to respond, they're off for the day or not paying attention or something, and then when they don't respond, you'll see your post like an hour in will just fall off a cliff. Like suddenly you're getting like no engagement, no views, no nothing. You're like, what happened? And
well, however.
That
for the next 11 days,
yeah.
For the next 11 days, I really want to have a couple of tags in each post because the people that I want to give tribute to, I want their, which means that and I'm trying to think. Well, should I have Hootsuite do it and then go in and edit? Because now, remind me, you'd know this. You're the LinkedIn expert, so to speak. The one that everyone comes to.
I'm glad you put the caveat on there.
So they come and sit at your feet and ask for LinkedIn advice.
I can't say that or like dub myself an influencer without just chuckling or feeling like, oh God, am I one of those people? I never wanted to be.
But anyway, my understanding is that if you go in and edit a post, you lose all your views and all your comments. It just like resets the counter to 0. Is that correct?
So I've heard that. I don't know technically what that means. There is a legit influencer named Jonathan Palmar who, if you're not following him, he posts once a week. But if you're not following him, his stuff is generally hilarious. Oh, Browns first and goal. Let's go, boys.
Give us a play-by-play.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
So Jonathan Palmar, he puts out kind of combo like videos that are just very well produced, and he's super. I think he's a former actor, super funny guy. He writes well. He's funny on camera. Paula's here.
Hey,
but
Paula, wow,
you're on mute.
You're on mute.
Did I mute you?
I don't know. I see it's a little knife through the microphone.
Maybe I gotta.
Okay, there we go.
Maybe I can.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
You now.
Oh, okay.
I haven't done the StreamYard thing. So it's kind of funny. I'm like, ooh, this is how it works.
This is great.
I know. I have StreamYard and don't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Shout out to StreamYard.
I've never had it. So.
Yeah.
Anyway. Wow.
So the free StreamYard will let you stream to. They used to let you stream to multiple channels at once. So we used to do with How to Get an Analytics Job. We used to go on LinkedIn Live and YouTube Live at the same time. They at some point in the recent past, StreamYard cut that down, so you have to pay to go to multiple channels at once. I don't know.
It's worth the service, though. It's worth the service.
Yeah, absolutely. And paid StreamYard, like you get the watermark comes off the screen. There's all sorts of little kind of bells and whistles with it.
Oh,
exactly.
That's why we got that little duck up in the corner there, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I actually pay for StreamYard.
Okay.
But I use it.
So that's my duck because I'm not paying that, I guess, right?
You're so funny. No. But no, I used it so I could pull audio easier. So because you can go live but unlisted, it's a whole thing anyway.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah.
So we were just talking about. Just want to wrap up what we're talking about, Robert. Yeah. Editing the post. I don't know what it actually means when it says it resets your counter, because Jonathan Palmar has said that, and if that's the case, it's probably gospel. But I have edited many posts before I knew that there was a penalty for that, and it doesn't. Your views don't go to 0.
Okay.
I think he's talking about some sort of secret LinkedIn metric where it's how much the algorithm is promoting your stuff. Because
the algorithm
when you edit something, your engagement slows down like crazy, and your view rate from there on out slows down like crazy.
Okay.
So I think that's what he means is like how favorably the algorithm views your post takes a serious nosedive if you edit the post.
Well, it occurs to me I could try an experiment. There was one or two that I did at the very beginning of November that didn't turn out real well.
Touchdown.
Oh, touchdown. Yeah.
Anyway.
Was that the Browns? I assume it's the Browns. Otherwise.
Yeah, you wouldn't see me smiling if the Ravens had scored.
Okay. So one of those, I'll go edit one of those posts and see what happens.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because
I like it. The live experiments.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to do it live necessarily.
Well,
I'll tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
In a comment, perhaps. That will be the whole post. I did this.
I think you can get a trial, like, most of these things will give you a 30-day free trial. Shield Analytics or shield.ai is the website. They will track Hootsuite. Paid Hootsuite will do something similar. I liked Shield's user interface a little bit better. And their reports just, seemed a bit more data analyst friendly to me. But yeah, Shield will give you, I think they'll give you a month free, and they will do that like hour by hour, minute by minute tracking of a post. So if you want to do an experiment, I mean, no kidding, like post it at 8,
Wow.
edit it at 9, and you'll see on there, you pull up the analytics of your post, you'll see like the views, and then they'll probably like pancake as soon as you edit it, as I understand it. So.
I don't think, I may be obsessive, but I'm not that obsessive.
So I had Shield when I was working with How to Get an Analytics Job, and because I was making a teensy bit of money from it, we had a couple of little minor sponsors who were paying us, $100 here, $100 there. And so I justified I think I had Shield for like $25 or $30 a month on some sort of special. So I had it so that I could track the metrics, not only for my content, but for Analytics Jobs content. But yeah, once I stopped working for them, it was like, all right, I'm just pouring $30 down the drain. So I canceled my membership. But and I just decided, I don't have the time or energy to track my content's success rate with that degree of nerdery. So
yeah. Well, it seemed like tracking it with that degree of nerdery seemed like it worked pretty well for October for me, because trying to analyze it and maybe model it and all that sort of thing.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's great for projects, and it's great. Obviously, it's great for content in a kind of a meta sort of way. Like, hey, let's produce content talking about the success rate of our content. Why not?
I mean, it's better than like, okay, I'll analyze who survived from the Titanic. Okay,
Yes.
It's only happened to like 50,000 people down there in Kaggle. It's like, oh, okay.
There's only so many times you can post. Can't have anything to write today. Happy Thursday.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, it's better than nothing.
Shout out to the Titanic data set, by the way. I'm just saying, it has a special place in my heart.
You've got good mileage with it. Yeah. I have not tackled it yet. I've seen many projects from other people and sort of.
I participated in one and came in 4,750th.
Oh.
That was your place? Okay.
That was my place. Yeah.
Out of how many?
4,760.
Yeah. Good job.
I was actually that too was an experiment.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, it was an experiment. Yeah, that's right. Because I was trying to get examples of code that I could like paste onto a PowerPoint when I was doing a presentation. So I was talking about stuff. So it's like, okay, well, I'll use this data set and show how people can use. Let's see, what was it? It was Python. It was a Python and a Python interface and all that. So
yeah.
But I sucked. It was really bad.
Yeah. Sometimes those things, if you chalk it up to a learning experience. I mean, your first. I look back at some of my first attempts to produce content, and they were painful.
Oh.
And that's why, I look back and I didn't go back and delete anything because it's there for all to see. But when people started in with the 30 days and and they're like, oh, it's so bad. Oh, my writing's terrible. Oh, I don't know what to talk about. I'm like, yeah, I got it. Just okay. There every day. You'll get
okay. Now I'm better today. Okay,
yeah, exactly.
Good.
And people that did 30 days, I mean, they're leaps and bounds ahead of where they were 6 weeks ago now. Yeah.
Even coming into it, I had already done a long stretch straight after I had done a long stretch with nothing.
Yeah.
And then I did a long stretch, with a lot. But even after just the 30 days and the requirements, that were there, I feel like I've done a lot. I'm better than I was at the beginning of November.
Yeah. And you feel, I mean, you got to, I see some people like, oh, I feel guilty about not posting. It's like, hey, you can't go too far to like the crack addict side where, it's like, don't beat yourself up. I mean, give yourself some grace. And sometimes taking a day off or two or however many you need is the best thing for you. I mean, individual results may vary. Hey, the Ravens just went 3-and-out again.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I want to break the streak though. It's like,
yeah, exactly. But you always got to keep that in mind. Like, so my wife does this thing where we'll go running, and she has, she either takes her phone or now I got her a nice GPS watch, and so she'll obsess over the mileage. There is just something in her head that we'll go for a run, and we'll come back and we'll circle back to the car, and we get there and it's 3.78 miles on her watch. She can't live with that.
It's got to be 4.
Something right? It has to be an even mile. So she will literally do laps. We generally, when we do a beach run, we park at the Publix down on Emerald Isle. Shout out to Publix. Thanks for letting us park there. We generally go in and buy something to thank them for the free parking spot. But we'll come back and she will literally do laps around the parking lot running just to get to an even mile mark. And I'm just standing at the car, drinking my coffee, laughing because it's like, what is it in your head that requires you? Like, you can't just be happy with the nice big loop and the beach we've run on and all of that. Like, it's got to be 4 or 5 but it doesn't even matter what the number is, but it's got to be an even mile. It doesn't make sense to me, but it makes sense.
I'll do that with my pedometer. I can't accept, like 4,984 steps. I got to do another lap.
Yeah. But like that number is meaningful only to you. It's just
true.
It says, and when you've done 30 days of content and then you do like a couple more weeks and you're like, well, I must get to 50. Why?
Right.
That's meaningful only in your head.
Exactly.
There's nobody out there sitting there counting Robert Sievert like, oh, dear God, there was no post for Robert Sievert on Thursday.
There isn't?
No, I'm sorry.
Oh,
not even me.
Man.
We've got another volunteer.
There's my bubble there. Hey.
Woo-hoo!
What's up, big man?
What's up, guys?
Welcome to the party.
Yeah.
I don't know if my mic is working properly here. I'm at home. Sorry, guys. I don't think my mic is working. Can you hear me?
You sound great.
You can hear you.
Yeah, there's about.
I may have to run it back and figure out what my technical issues are. Sorry, guys. Let me try again.
Do you have a mic on your headphones?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you have an external mic, you have to have your speakers silenced. Like, you have to have your sound coming into your headphones. I have run into this issue before. Yeah. So Toro saying hi. She is not, for a video veteran, she's a bit reticent to come on camera right now. So we'll get her eventually.
Well,
that's right.
She is awesome on video. So I'm hoping to get her on.
I remember. Yeah, she did. She's done some Toro, you've done some videos.
Yeah.
They've been great.
And I remember being surprised because she was, first, she's got kind of the artistic avatar on LinkedIn, and so when she first started the content challenge, I was like, oh, okay, she's a bit private because I know a lot of people that have those sort of Art Deco avatars or something that's not an actual a no kidding picture of their face, and usually it's someone's like, okay, they got some privacy boundaries there. Are not ready to kind of sacrifice all that they are to the social media gods. And so I kind of placed Itoro in that column. And then suddenly she was just doing video all the time. It was like, oh, wow, she's putting herself out there. So Oh, she's Itoro, really.
Yeah.
We're good with kids. Like, was not that long ago. My kids were doing the same thing.
Ah,
I know. I was like, she's wrangling them. I think they're wrangling her, and that's probably.
yeah, that's probably true.
So my boss has, I can't remember how old. She has a daughter that's probably 6, and a son who is 2, I think, and he is a terrible 2. I mean, a wonderful terrible 2, but he's definitely in that, like, you know, need mommy, need attention kind of phase. What's up, Rob?
How's it going?
All right.
Take it back out, man. Okay.
Excellent.
But she'll be on like work meetings, and you know, son like climbing up the side of her and crying, and she's desperately trying to like click off mute and contribute value, and then click back on mute real quick so his screaming doesn't disrupt the meeting. But yeah, it's awesome.
That's great.
Oh, Julie can't comment on YouTube because she has not created a channel, which is why she should come on live. But anyway.
Well, I didn't have a YouTube account until after Albert. You had your session with Matt.
Oh yeah.
You know, I was like, you know, comment. I was like, I can't comment. I don't have an account. You know, so if I'm suspicious of a lot of these companies, so I don't make accounts. But I did that, so here I am. I'm great. Oh, question for you.
What's up?
My glasses still need to be enhanced.
I think this time.
Does the chat get saved? Because I can't quite read it from here.
I mean, it will on YouTube.
Okay. So that was my one question. Jeffrey, welcome back.
Hey, how's it going?
Rob, come back.
I think that I figured out how to make it go through the proper speakers and the mic. I had it like defaulted to all of the laptop stuff instead of
You
my.
should have the sound coming through your headphones only, because otherwise we're going to get an echo.
Are you still got it? Do you still have that?
I'm still hearing.
Oh man! All right.
Is there anything?
Run it back. 4th time's the charm. I'll try again.
All good.
I love the
come back.
personalities that are coming through because they sound as they do on LinkedIn.
You sound like
coming from their.
sound like we write. I mean, that's.
Yes.
That's
how I write. I write how I would normally speak. So.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. At a distance, of course.
So, Paula, how are you feeling about your content lately? I mean, it's like poetry. It's freaking amazing.
It is.
Oh,
it is.
thank you.
Absolutely.
No, it's funny because I see so many of the challengers who are saying, "So I'm going to keep this going." I'm like, I'll pop in with something eventually, and obviously I'm doing the 12 days, so 12 days of tribute. So I have my first post, but I'm working on my second one as well, just like a little bit, so that I can have some stuff, for the 12 days. So yeah, no, I didn't do really very much on LinkedIn. Like, it was funny because I know part of the challenge was to help raise visibility, right, on LinkedIn. I was like, man, I only get on, like, if somebody posts something, then LinkedIn notifies you that someone's posted. So I've been that person who shares, right? And I love that one of the rules was like, don't share. And I was like, but I like sharing.
That's what I do.
I do on
That's
other
my thing,
platforms,
right?
right? So I spend a lot of time on another platform that has Bird on it. And so that's really So yeah, so that's really my happy place, right? Like, I don't really know why things work there, because I don't know anything about anything. That's how that works. But this was funny because I was like, oh my gosh, I not only have to log into LinkedIn, but I have to engage. And I was like, oh, that's not what I do here. I just share content of other people.
You could have fooled me. You are the best engager.
Oh, thank you.
That it's incredible, actually.
Yep. Rob and I have like a friendly sibling rivalry when it comes to commenting. So he'll comment on someone else's, and I'll get the notification. I'm like, well, I want to comment.
Yeah, it's like, who gets the last word? You know, and I tell you, Paul, it's almost like, yeah, we've got there's this thing in our head, because you had a comment on Albert's post that you had just watched his video, or you were typing the comment as you were watching it, the interview, and I saw that comment right after I had finished watching the interview. So I'm like, holy cow! So we got this little thing. Yeah, it's like it's cool.
I know. Yeah, we've been in sync because you post. It's funny, you post at the same time, but I'm not always on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But it's really funny because LinkedIn, I'm sure it's part of the algorithm that I would understand if I paid attention more. But LinkedIn is like, you like anything this person writes.
What's up, guys?
So it doesn't matter when you post, I'll see it.
I think I stuck the landing this time, guys.
All right.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
clear.
You got to hold up little cards.
Yeah. It
9.9.
took some. It's whenever I use my home laptop and it's not automatically set up with my stuff sitting there waiting, ready to go. I had to figure it out in advance. Sorry, I just wanted to jump in. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Yeah.
Jeffrey,
Nice
your accent
to-
is fine, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, I could talk any way I want to if I need to. And,
well, I used to be able to do that too.
yeah, man, you never lose it. You never lose it.
I used to drive my parents nuts when we go to Wisconsin, because then I
Yeah.
do the Wisconsin accent. And
Oh, we got another technical.
Rob, every
coming
time I
back
cut
and
you
forth.
in, man, you're playing with your phone.
That's because I'm trying to get this volume right.
Oh,
Oh.
So-
I'm old and deaf.
Yeah.
old and deaf.
yeah. So are we all.
I'm old and blind. No, not quite.
Paul's not old, but the rest of us are.
Old's not old.
Listen, I'm way past old. I'm crusty and vintage. So
Wow.
Hey, I'm
Wow.
gonna talk for a minute. My wife just called me. I got to call her back. So I'm gonna cut myself out of my own feed. If you guys just want to talk amongst yourselves,
Talk amongst yourselves.
yeah.
we'll
Talk amongst
Great.
yourselves.
Verklempt.
The Holy Roman
talk about
Empire was
Al.
neither holy nor Roman.
Yeah.
It's us.
The Prince of Tides. It's not about princes nor tides. All right. Good stuff.
Let's see what happens. Hey, we're still
What's
here.
up, guys? Yeah, we're still
Yes.
here. I thought it
Yeah.
might cut out the whole thing. Are we still live on? I've never
Yeah.
used this particular
Yeah,
technology.
we are.
Are we
We can
being
talk
recorded?
about Al. All the things you wanted to say. Now's the time.
Oh.
Now's the time.
I was just making sure my daughter was naked running around here. I should make sure that if we were broadcasting live, I was taking appropriate.
She's like a
countermeasures.
toddler, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
she's fine.
okay, good.
Oh my god.
We're fixing to go to a recital thing for gymnastics here in a minute.
Oh,
Anyway,
Very cool.
yeah, I'm excited. Well, it's cool getting to interact with people
is.
from the interwebs, man.
And actually see people. I mean, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, it's cool. Hey, so where are you? I think Robert, you're in New York. Paul,
Actually,
you were
I'm in Connecticut.
Portland, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Where are you guys at?
Yeah, I put New York Metro in LinkedIn because I don't want a lot of people to know exactly where I live.
Mm.
But I live, but I can let you know.
Yeah,
Actually,
are we broadcasting? That's
And
the one
millions on YouTube.
thing. So
millions of
are
people
watching.
are going to come to my door.
I always am trying to be I'm watchful of using people's personally identifying information and stuff like that because I can
Yeah,
get
it's
in a
like
lot of
there's
trouble.
my name and my face, and okay.
Well, here's the thing. No one geographically knows where Connecticut is, so you're good.
Well, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Especially people
That's
who
extra
live
stuff.
in Connecticut. It's not really a state. Half of it is looking at New York and New York City, and the other half is looking at Boston. That's kind of how things work with like they're New York Giants fans, or they're New England Patriots fans, or that sort of thing. Red Sox.
How about you, Rob? I don't think that we even know each other well. You're
Yeah,
not
I don't
in
think so either.
You're not in my funnel
No?
of or my feed, as it were.
Feed.
I'm currently in the Aloha State.
Oh man,
Wow.
I was
Wow.
trying to get there.
It's not been so great for me, but yeah.
Shame. Well, once you get stuck on, I'm on an island too, but an island in Lake Washington. So it's a short bridge to the mainland from here, but it's not as isolating, I imagine. And I don't think that the pork is as expensive. Apart from that, I don't know. I've never been there. It's like one of the last places in the United States
Yeah.
I haven't visited, and I want to make sure I do.
Yeah. Everybody
I mean, I
wants
did
to.
get to enjoy it yesterday. I went on a good hike, so that was
Yeah.
kind of nice.
Yeah. How about you, Paula?
So I am currently in Virginia, and it's really funny because that's the question a lot of people in our lives ask. They're just like, "Are you still in?" Like, this is the time of year where people send Christmas cards, and
Mm,
everybody's like, "So remind me where you are this
Yeah.
year."
I don't move around all that often, but I do. I mean, I'm meeting folks for. It's weird because it's we're on the internet. You're not like people that are just around the way, right? Or
Yeah.
even
True.
like you go to conferences and they're still kind of regional. Like not
Yeah.
people across everywhere. And
Does anyone else feel like weirded out when you start talking about your friends and you consider people friends that you've never met in real life?
yeah,
Like
Yeah, that's
That's
most of my
odd.
circle.
It's so odd, but I
Yeah.
legitimately be like, yeah, my friend Paula did this, and that the other day, and it's like I've never actually met Paula, and
we
until
we
now
interact
we've never had a
more.
conversation.
Yeah, we
Right?
interact more now through like a
Yeah.
different keyhole lens of like, I mean, imagine how people wrote letters back in the 1600s and still considered themselves intimates, right? And we're like in each other's lives daily,
I was
right?
totally thinking you were going to say 1990s because that's where my
Yeah.
brain went, and then you were
Yeah.
like 1600. I was like, am I
1990s
that
Well,
was
old?
tough
just
too.
I
flip
am
the 9
vintage.
and the 6.
I am
That's
vintage. Right.
We used to 1-800.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Well, like for example, people know about Positive Paula. Like I was like, man, I was doing this challenge,
Yeah.
and there was just Positive Paula, and they're like, what? And I'm like, it's hard to explain.
Yeah,
I know Rob started a hashtag that took on a whole life, and I just cracked up. I was like, well, it started out like just being a sibling thing, and then it's like, right? It's like when you have a nickname for your siblings, and then people on the street are like out there using it. I'm like, I don't even know these people. They're not even challengers. Who are
That's
these
right.
people?
Who are they?
yeah.
Right? No, that was so cool. That was very.
Right.
It's funny. That's why I was like, everybody always thinks I'm so positive, and I'm like, because I'm like a realist, right? So
Mhm.
I just like say things so matter of fact. I'm like, is that positive? Okay, I'll take it.
Why not?
But your comments were always encouraging. Like I see your comments, and I'm like, they're always encouraging. There was, like even if somebody was struggling, you're like, at least you got it today. Like, let's get it.
Yeah.
Good old Albert. You could tell when he was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna like that. Like, okay, I acknowledge your effort.
So there were a lot of so that was not always directly proportional to the quality of the post. There were a lot of times where I was just swamped with something, and it was like, all right, I'm gonna toss everybody today a reaction, and if there's something that's just just like looks awesome, like maybe I'll save it for later, and half the time I never even got back to those saved posts. So I have hundreds of saved posts in my buffer now, and
Right.
I don't know if I'll ever get to them. Some of them are probably from weeks ago. So, yeah.
Is it hard to make a choice? It's like you're looking at something, you want to make a comment, and then suddenly your notifications start blinking. It's like, oh no, what do I do? I mean, is it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, some of it you get better at compartmentalizing after a while, but so sometimes it's just like, well, they're probably gonna put out another piece of content tomorrow that will also be wonderful, and they won't. Nobody's gonna keel over and die if I don't throw my 2 cents on this thing. So, yeah,
That's true. That's good.
Well, I love that. I feel since I've followed the How to Get an Analytics Job, I feel like I've known Al. But I love that when you started the challenge, I don't think you anticipated one, how many people would participate, but then how many would consistently, because I've seen these challenges and they start off well, and by like day 5, and I also speak for myself, by like day 5, it's like, well, and then it just starts to wane, and then you're left with like a crux of a dozen people when it started with 100, right? So that's what I realized, is it was really like, oh my gosh, there were people jumping in.
Yeah, it kept building. That was really the cool part.
So between you guys here, Jeffrey for sure, Julie Cordes, who I would have loved to have her on this, but she's off doing other things. Vittorio for sure, David Vermillion, and then the whole ArcBest crowd. You guys were like the blood and guts of
Ooh.
The heart and soul of the challenge. That you were so enthusiastic about it that's what kept it going. Because I've had a couple where, I did one that was in conjunction with Alyssa Fedgo was actually on this one. I think she might have been the only two-time offender. But I did one with the Google Data Analytics Challenge because there was so much writing involved that I felt like people weren't doing. And so I was like, hey, let's all like do these writing challenges together. Like 8 or 10 people doing it at one point. But that one kind of, like you said, it kind of fizzled out. It was super niche. I even said it going in. I was like, look, I'm probably going to get like 10 or 15 people to join in on this. And at its height, we probably had that many. There wasn't a lot of source material to go on. I found kind of midway through that there was a whole lot of stuff, like writing assignments in there that just didn't lend themselves well to LinkedIn content. So that kind of led it to fall off. But really the one that we did one last year with Analytics Job that was called Show Us Your Data. And it was because, 2020 was such a garbage year. We were like, well, we got to find something positive out of this. And so it was, and it was actually John David's idea, the host of the podcast. And he basically was like, hey, let's get people to tell their stories of, wins that they had in 2020 in spite of all the terrible shit that was going on. And it took off totally not in the way that we thought. It wound up being like me holding the whole thing up. So it was wildly successful. It got me a ton of new contacts. It got the channel a ton of new listeners and followers on LinkedIn. But it totally didn't catch on to where people were doing it themselves. People were like sending me their information so that I could talk about them, which was great. And like I said, super helpful for me personally. Didn't really take off the way that this challenge did, in which people were doing it for themselves. And so that was the thing I enjoyed the most, was like, there were times when I was barely even participating in hard mode because I was just swamped with work and family and whatever else. And so I was kind of throwing a token post out there every once in a while. You guys were the ones that were carrying the water.
Albert, you got out there and it looked like you were the first reaction on almost everything.
Mm-hmm.
It just, and even without a comment, it was like, okay, I'm supporting this. So your presence was there.
Yeah.
Even so that helped a lot.
Sometimes that was all I was contributing, was the support reaction, but
that was enough.
Can be
actually.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I
even
think
if you
that's
weren't,
motivation
I know them two were definitely hitting it up. Like, if you didn't hit me up first, I was like, it's going to be Robert or Paula. Like, it's a race. One of them is going to like comment, say something. So yeah, you guys helped out a lot. Because sometimes, I'll be honest, Albert, I don't even know if you commented or said anything. I just noticed they two said something, so I didn't even take it personally.
Oh, good. I know I missed a couple of years, Rob, or maybe a lot of them, but
Oh, good. You know what? I was giving you credit. Now I know the truth.
No, I just I'm really trying hard to make you laugh out loud. That was a big thing. It's like I that's why I'm going to set up a 30-day challenge of hashtag green bean casserole.
The most polarizing challenge ever.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
So,
I think what I've seen, just real quick, is that for people who weren't really sure about whether or not they wanted to really leap in or commit, just having one comment or reaction would at least start fire. And I think that was probably the biggest lesson. That was a takeaway for me, for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, meeting amazing people was a bonus for sure, because I didn't really expect it, because I'm not a group person. It's real. I'm an introvert, so if I connect with people, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Oddly enough, I am sort of too, which is, you wouldn't necessarily know that, but it doesn't seem that way. But I never leave the house.
Like my idea of hell is like going into a room full of like people in suits and having to like introduce myself and network the way that I always pictured it.
Right. Right.
And even I used to talk to John David when I was first starting this out, and he would say, "Oh, I went to a networking event in Greensboro," and I would just be like, "Oh God, that sounds awful." But he loves those things. But I always pictured like, oh God, networking event, like it's a bunch of like dudes in tweed jackets, looking like some Harvard fraternity, drinking dry martinis, and like I wouldn't fit in with anything like that. And really it can be anything. It can be at a bar, and people that kind of are more in your demographic, whatever age group, or or like common interest or something like that. Those are networking events. You don't even need to call it that. But my mental picture of a networking event is like somewhere where I just want to curl up in a corner and die. And so that's why I took to LinkedIn so well. It was like, oh, I can meet people with like little to no pressure. And and sometimes like the best thing about content is like you're just kind of shouting about whatever it is you care about, and then you just attract like-minded people to you without because I think everybody feels a little uncomfortable and corny about reaching out to I really want to work at Google or Red Hat, and so let me reach out to this hiring manager at Red Hat and try and act like I'm super interested in them personally, when really I'm just trying to cultivate a relationship that's going to lead to me getting a job at my dream company someday. Everybody has a certain level of skeeve factor with that, even that kind of online networking. But if you just kind of put stuff out there into the void and say, this is me, you attract, mostly nice and helpful people, some sketch people,
Well, we'll see what happens with me, but I want to thank Paula for the YouTube idea. Because I definitely have had like a different, you kind of screwed me up trying to find a job because I was kind of in one direction. But people's reaction to it is like, you really need to get to a nonprofit. You need to be there. Like that whole, I got your six, like really spoke to a lot of people.
Yeah.
I have a video I'll be dropping tomorrow about how we're taking care of like our junior people when they get out. Like they're not in the same way. Like I'm talking to people that like, what? LinkedIn? Nobody's ever taught me LinkedIn.
Yep.
Nobody's ever taught me that. So I'm doing a lot of connections with them. So it's been a blessing, but now I feel like, where am I going again for a job?
Yeah, we can definitely wouldn't mind talking to you offline about that. Did you set up a meeting? I think.
No, not yet. I've been kind of, dealing with the, because I'm on now because it wasn't even Paula. There was another person I did an informational interview, Adam Braitz.
Yeah.
And we were talking and he's like, you got to tell your story. So now I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and just throwing content out there. So I was like, I'll get to Albert when I get to Albert. I'm not rushing for it.
And your time zone is also, right? It's like the most special of time zones.
Yeah, it's pretty
Oh
awesome.
yeah, like if he's like, hey, you want to meet at like 8 a.m. my time, I'm like, I'm sleeping. Like that's just not going to happen.
What time zone are you?
Hawaii. So I am 5 hours behind you guys.
Yeah. Okay. I can flex on that. Just hit me up offline.
Will do.
And that's more awkward than working, collaborating with people in India, because it's like you're in the opposite AM and PM. But
yeah. So my
Hawaii, it's
company
like,
has people in India.
it's not exactly the sweet spot, right?
Yeah. Hawaii's tough. I remember I did Ken G's show, and he lives in Hawaii, so that was interesting trying to wrangle that time.
Yeah, because they have that. What is that? There's that app for you. The Calendly app.
Yes.
And so there's people I've wanted to talk to, and I see it like for Hawaii time, and it's like, their only availability is like 4 a.m. And I'm like, unless you're gonna pay me some money, I'm not gonna get up at 4 a.m.
Yeah. The Marine Corps has made us get up at 4 a.m. many's the time. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a pogue, so I don't know that life unless I'm deployed.
You've never got the 3:30 at the Armory to draw weapons? Oh, come on.
No, because I was an older Marine, so I would just tell them that's stupid, and I would come later.
To say back in the day, you get dropped from the range for that. But anyway.
Oh yeah, no, I know. Actually, you remind me. Okinawa was like that. That made zero sense because we had to drive to the range.
Yeah. So to start shooting at 7, you had to be at the Armory at 3. Good times.
Wow.
Yeah, I got in trouble last time I was on the range because they give you your loadout and everything, and we're doing it in the dark. And then, so I asked one of the kids, I was like, what's the loadout? Now, mind you, this is like a half hour later. And he's like, you weren't paying attention? And I was like, it's dark. It's stupid. I was waiting till the sun came up so I don't lose a round.
Yeah, either that or you were like, I'm a Marine. Of course I wasn't paying attention. You didn't need to be a dick about it.
I was uploading my Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. I did put up my content for the day. Duh.
Right. Wow.
I did do one of your LinkedIn challenges during me. I was going over, I was one of the guys that was verifying for the CFT. So I'm like doing the scoreboard and I'm like pushing send at the same time.
Nice.
They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I got to get my content out.
Folks, CFT is combat fitness test. We do it once a year. You have to carry a person around like they're a dead body and throw a grenade and do some push-ups and sprint back and forth. And at the end of it, you can't tell if you want to puke or die or both. But it's an unpleasant thing, and I'm glad I don't have to do it anymore. I didn't usually do badly on them. I just, really didn't enjoy them at all. So.
You still have to do it. I'm a civilian, been all that way. Actually, just sidebar. When I was 13, I had a kidney removed. So I was after some painful infections, but that's not important right now, and too much information. You have to do. You had to do like PT. Is that what it was referred to? Physical training every day, or that would have been something I should have done, I suppose.
Yeah, I still continue it. Not with the same kind of intensity as before.
Yeah, well,
about a
you don't have to pass a test once a year, right, anymore.
Yeah, well, I also don't have to pass weight standards anymore, so I can I could probably do whatever kind of PT I like now, rather than just crushing pavement in order to try and keep my weight down. So we'll see. Maybe I'll get all buff for the first time in my life.
That'll be the next challenge. I'll be like, that's when I just go, no.
Don't worry, I'll be right there with you, Paula. I'm not trying to flex on people. Like,
see those things.
Do you want to do a video challenge?
I'm not
running
even
challenge?
flexing on anybody. I'm just like, let's just start at the end of this challenge. Is there a finisher in the middle? That's all I want. I'll just take the T-shirt in the middle, and I'll just be like, I cheer on the sidelines.
So you guys are walking around with 6-packs, and where I'm packing a keg.
Yeah, I've definitely the 6-pack days have passed me by probably 10 plus years ago.
Not so much anymore. Since COVID, I've actually been very good. I've lost like 40 pounds since COVID began.
Good for you.
So it's and it keeps going. So that's a good thing. It's a very good thing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, guys, I think this is probably a natural pause where we can wrap this up. But amazing talking to all of you.
What was the topic?
I don't even remember, man. I was just like, I should come on and talk about 12 Days of Tribute, and then it was like, I threw it out to you guys, like, do you want to watch or do you want to join? I was like, I threw it out to a couple other friends, and it was just like, we'll just see who shows up and wants to listen or participate, and it is what it is. So I appreciate having you all come out. David, we're going to get you on camera next time.
Have you seen the YouTube video about the first follower?
No.
Where like it inspires like a whole movement. It's so if you guys can do that later, it's pretty interesting. But hopefully this leads to more people wanting to jump in, and we can do that whole, like I think Paula was talking about it. We do like a big group coffee from everybody that did the challenge. But I think this is the lead step. They'll be like, oh, that was really interesting that you guys did that. I missed it. I wish I could do it. So that's why the first follower, it's not about the leader. It's like he's like dancing, and then once that other person starts dancing, you see like the whole crowd starts dancing.
Yeah.
No, I love all the support in the chat. That's really cool.
Yeah.
From our
I
fellow
gotta read
challengers.
that. This is
All right. Well, aloha all. Take
right.
care. I'm going to enjoy the 85-degree weather.
Okay. I'm going to enjoy the.
Don't worry, Paula. I'm
40-degree
coming to
weather and
Virginia
the rain.
soon. So, yeah.
North Carolina's not
It's in
bad.
the 70s here, so.
Yeah. Anyway, but
You left us?
He left us.
Speaking of leadership,
Well, that's right.
Well,
He's
that's what an officer
leading us
does. They
away.
give you a
We
thing
need
and
to
they
stop
go.
now. Yeah.
Okay, you guys take it easy.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, he's back. I got a whiplash. Oh no.
clicked a random button and removed myself early, but I'm
Uh,
so. All right, guys.
Shoot at random buttons.
I'm gonna call it to a close, but I appreciate everyone showing up and having a chat.
Thanks for setting it up and asking. I mean,
Yeah,
this
that's
has been just wonderful. Lots of fun. And
We
I got to
will do
read
it
these
again.
chats. I gotta see. In order to read them, I got to go off camera. Maybe that doesn't.
And
Maybe
just
that's a
go back-
plus, actually.
Here, go back into YouTube, and you can probably go through it like warp speed. There's actually not that much. There's probably like 30 messages in there. So
Yeah.
all just kind of high fives and attaboys. But
Yeah.
just go back through the YouTube.
Well, it's
video.
fun to watch that too. See that too.
I think if you scoop through to the end, it'll just load it all up for you. So.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
Alrighty.
guys. Have
Yeah.
enjoy-
There's the wave.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you. All right, now leave studio. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Bye.